Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, Texans fans, pat yourself on the back right now. We finally made it to the first week of the regular season. A long regular season, bro. I'm telling you, man. Literally and mentally, if you're a Houston Texans fan. This is the first year that the NFL is implementing their 17 or that 18-week schedule or 17 game schedule for all the teams. So 17 is everybody is going to be playing that one extra game well off in the second week of January. So considering what's been going on with this franchise over the off season, of course, it's the perfect time to actually, choose this to go along with. So, we're going to discuss all that. But it's not going to take away from the excitement that we're going to see the Texans play a real regular season game this weekend, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Definitely going to talk about what surprisingly the three things they can do to win this game. Uh, considering what kind of schedule we got, but. I get into all that in a few. So first things first, um, I want to talk about the season expectations, and before I do that, I kind of want to dwell on the roster a little bit, and probably just reacting to a little bit of roster news. So they traded Bradley Roby to the Saints for some picks, um, and other things going on with the roster. Obviously, the big thing. Uh, excuse me. Obviously, the big thing, quarterback Deshaun Watson. He asked for his trade. They're still trying to find people to trade teams. They're still trying to find teams um, to trade with and everything for him, which is not that far fetched. If I always make comparisons. Unfortunately, I always make comparisons about the NFL to the NBA. If this was the NBA, he'd probably be gone a week after he made the request. But being that it's the NFL and, starting quarterback is probably one of the more unique positions within this league. It's going to be a little bit hard to move him. So, teams like Miami and Philadelphia, it was rumored that they were always in the mix, but lo and behold, they're sticking with their young quarterbacks. Miami's sticking with Tua. Philadelphia obviously they have to stick with Jalen Hurts. They ended up shipping out Carson Wentz in favor of Jalen Hurts, and so it's one of those things where it's like, you can't just, uproot, the quarterback for your team or anything like that. A lot of these guys, they've gotten some pretty hefty contracts of their own that they're probably trying to finish out, and maybe the Texans don't want to take part of. And for the Texans themselves, a lot of it's been rumored that people ain't been too pleased with the asking price, but when it's a talent such as Deshaun Watson, you're gonna ask for a little bit of extra cheese on your on the burger. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that trade is still imminent right now. It could go down at the deadline, depending on how everybody else's roster shapes up until week 8. If some team just don't feel like they have it right now with the quarterback at hand, and they can probably get out of a contract or something, then they'll probably make the move with the Texans. They'll probably see what they can dig up, and probably trade away a couple future picks. But at this time, it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening anytime soon. And you just saw the announcement that they just officially ruled him out for this week's game. So it is what it is. There's still some work to be done in this roster. With that said, about the roster, it kind of leads me into my quick mini review of some season expectations that I had overall. So obviously, new head coach, new GM Nick Casario. He's just been making quite a few moves. One of the things that's been kind of standing out about these moves is that a lot of these players are coming in on 1 year deals. Another thing is some of these guys are they kind of you that kind of been dropped off from a little bit of their glory days, a little somewhat. So um, last similar to us last year, kind of taking on David Johnson. This year we've taken on Philip Lindsay, a former 1,000 yard rusher, Mark Ingram, another former 1,000 yard rusher. Who just kind of finished things with Baltimore, and it's something I'm really going to touch on back in the when we talk about the game preview. But just a lot of guys like that. Just kind of around there. Tyrod Taylor. He's a guy that's been bouncing around the last couple seasons. As pretty much he's been serving as like these teams bridge quarterbacks, these teams bridge quarterback, and until they've actually brought in like their quote unquote franchise guy. Um, I think he was in. I know he was in Buffalo. I can't. I think it was right before Josh Allen came aboard. He was in Cleveland before they turned things over to Baker Mayfield, and he was with the Chargers last season before they turned things over to Justin Herbert, and it was an unfortunate way how they turned things over to Herbert as well. But obviously, the Chargers are happy with who they have at quarterback. So it's just players like that, that are just kind of like on this team right now. And in addition to like some of the younger rookies that we have and the younger players that we have. And it's just something that we're just gonna have to just try and work through, and just see how it really just affects this team's level of competitiveness. Because if we had like a little bit more upgrade in talent, it probably wouldn't be a question of how competitive this team might be. But considering all these moves that are being made, like here and there, and the kind of players that are being brought in, it's questioning like you kind of wonder like how how much of a fight this team is going to put up um, in this particular in this particular season. And you looking at the roster, and I pretty much made my predictions as far as like how many wins this team was going to do. I think I wrote about it back in May. This team was going to go 6-11. You know what I'm saying? And that's just by looking, at the roster that we have. If this was a roster, if we had the roster from like a couple years ago with this particular schedule, then yeah, things would look a little bit different. I'd say 11-6, 12-5, something like that, a little bit more upside. But given the fact that we got these kind of guys, these type of prove it or lose it guys on here, and then we gave away Randall Cobb, not to mention that, and so. Um, it's gonna look a little bit, it's gonna look a little bit weird this year. Things are gonna look a little bit tough for us on paper, and so you just question on where how much competitive nature this team is really going to have, and not so much how much they're going to have because these are professional players. They're going to have a lot of competitive nature. You're going to probably just ask like how long will their competitive nature last throughout the year? When those losses start piling up. How long are they? Just really going to just be ready to come out there and just eager to give their all. So that's my thing on that. Um, One more thing about just the season expectations. I talked about them going 6-11 this year, and I still kind of stand by that. But also, just looking, just thinking about everything that's happened, not just with the Texans, but just overall with the team, with other teams that are on the schedule. I kind of expect. I'm kind of just looking around and just still fluctuating on like which games I think they're going to win and which games, you know, I just expect them to win. Um, so really, I kind of broke it down in like surprise wins versus expected wins. Because I think this like now that like some of these games on here, I just think are guaranteed losses for the Texans. To be honest with you, so the Rams, I think they're going to lose that. That's just me. Um, let's see the Bills. they're going to lose. Browns, I think they're going to lose. As I mentioned in the article in May, Browns are, they learning to win a little bit more consistently. And on, maybe a little bit higher level than what the Texans are on right now. So I think, the Browns will hand them an L. I said the Rams. Seahawks for sure, they'll hand them an L. And so I think those are L's. Now, surprise wins, um, I'll be surprised if they get a win against the Colts. And that's even then. I probably shouldn't have started that particular topic with the Colts because they have their own issues going on right now at quarterback as far as like keeping Carson Wentz healthy, and I think that's going to be a huge thing for them to do if they want to see any type of success. But I'm definitely going to put them in like the surprise win column. I think they can beat the Colts at least once. Um, let's see. I did have the Cardinals as a surprise win, but nah, Cardinals added like just way too much firepower. Dolphins, I would give them as a surprise win. Um, the Titans, that'd be a tall task in saying that's a surprise win. Um, Definitely the Chargers. I probably give a surprise win just because I know they're probably. I'm expecting them to be a little bit better than what they were. Now that Justin Herbert is like kind of went through the off season. He has like full reins of the offense and everything, and doesn't have to come off the bench for anything. So I think the Chargers will be a little bit better. So I give them those surprise wins. Expected wins. So I expect them to beat the Jaguars regardless. Um, we'll talk about that later. I do expect them to beat the the Jets uh, and the 49ers. I actually say they expect them to win. Jets and 49ers, I'm I'm expecting the Texans to win only because they have rookie quarterbacks playing this year. Um, they'll be on the road for the Niners. They'll be at home for the Jets. So definitely, the Jets is an expected win. Is a win that I expect for the Texans to have. Just for those and just for those simple reasons. They'll have a rookie quarterback, and they're trying to build things up as well and get things going for them. So I think the Texans they have the experience to actually like beat those teams. Uh, yeah, just beat those particular teams. So speaking of beating teams and expected wins, despite a lot, despite a large discouraging outlook for the Texans year, they actually start the season off against the Jacksonville Jaguars, hosting them this Sunday at home. Um, so there's a few things that are actually keys to both these actually keys for the Texans to win this game. So first things first, the defense, they're going to have the upper hand in this game. They're facing a rookie quarterback, and so even though Trevor Lawrence, people have bragged about him for like well over a long period of time now. This is his this is his first real professional regular season games. So things are going to start to count. So um, even though people have bragged about his talent, there's still the opportunity of him. There's still, the aspect of him of just still learning the game, learning the speed of the game, and all that other stuff. So I think if defensive coordinator Lovie Smith, he, I think if he puts something together to just kind of shake the rookie up, obviously put a lot of pressure on him, switch the blitz looks, what I'm saying, all that other stuff, just kind of mix up coverages, all that good stuff. He should be able to remain with the advantage. Over this team. We should still have the advantage over this particular team. Also, the ability to force turnovers. As I mentioned in last week's Bullheaded, that was something that the analysts kept mentioning over and over again. And it seems like every time they mentioned it, the Texans would generate a turnover. And that was like, in each game during the preseason. So, um, Texans, they shown they can do that in preseason. Hopefully, they can apply that same principle into the regular season, particularly in this first regular season game. A lot, as I mentioned earlier, we have quite a few running backs. Within this running back room, each of these guys are former 1,000 yard rushers. Two of them have multiple 1,000 yard rushing seasons. So the only problem is they didn't really just jump off the screen during preseason. With preseason is they get short playing time and all this other stuff, and players are sitting on the sidelines, resting and all that good stuff. So now that the real thing is here, hopefully they can show a lot more in this game and show. And maybe David Culley can find a way to like just mix all three of these guys up because I think for right now it's going to be running back by committee type of deal. Nobody is really shown to be like the lead back at this time. Things could change over the course of the season, yeah, but right now I think it's best to just kind of rotate these guys, you know, to the best of their abilities in this game and just kind of wear down this Jacksonville defense and see what the Jacksonville defense is really about. Last thing, Texans got to remember that the Jaguars are no better than the Texans themselves. They're going through their own they're going through their own rebuilding process, and they have a new coach, they have a new quarterback as well. With the Texans, in the Texans case, we have pretty much two new quarterbacks. Um, but our starting quarterback, who will be Tyrod Taylor, he's gonna have nothing. Anyway, he obviously has a little bit more experience. Yeah, he has a little bit more experience. Uh, Obviously, so he's not going to be rattled by anything. Yes, a new team for him, but he's going to be calm as far as like just kind of just going out there running the offense and just getting the ball to the right people and all this other stuff. So he's not going to have anything to worry about. It's the rookie quarterback on the other side for the Jaguars. They're gonna probably be uh, they'll probably be a little bit shaken up, and that's not to take away from the talent that he has, because he's obviously a very talented individual and whatnot. But he is still a rookie, and he's going to go through those rookie growing pains. So, as long as he goes through them this Sunday and allow the Texans to get that win, that's all that matters. So, basically, going over the three things: Texans defense, they will have the upper hand with their experience and ability to force turnovers. Let's give a shot with these. Second thing, let's give a shot with these running backs, former 1,000 yard rushers. Make sure that we can try to put them in there and just find one to get the hot hand with, to wear down that Jaguars defense. And third thing, don't be scared of the Jaguars. Like, they're no better than what we're going through right now. So it'll be a pretty it'll be a toss up game, pretty much. But it'll be something that this Texans team can actually like just really overcome, and just hang their hats on this early in the season and take it on to the next game. So that's all I got for y'all today. With that said, welcome back to the regular season, Houston Texans fans. I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.